In room 314 in the Mount Washington Hotel and Resort, the spirit of a princess seems to remain on permanent holiday. Guests, staff, as well as numerous mediums and ghost hunter teams have all interacted with this royal entity. However, this is just the tip of the paranormal iceberg of the strange occurrences on this property. I'm Chris.
I'm Kathy.
I'm Sean.
Join us as Weirder After Dark explores the life and afterlife of the Mount Washington Hotel's most famous guests. What's the worst hotel you guys ever stayed at? Or what's the nicest and worst?
I don't have any killer hotel motel stories, unfortunately. No, I do got one. It's not weird or bad, but it stood out. There is a hotel down in Providence, Rhode Island that I actually stayed at for work, and it's like an art hotel. There's so much artwork that there's some in your shower, which is really interesting. The shower tile is like body parts. So I turn around, there's just like a single titty on the tile. I was like, whoa, what is that? And I'm looking at it, and I don't have contacts or glasses on. I lean in. I'm like, yep, that's a titty. Oh, that's weird. And then there's noses that stick out of the tile.
That's weird. I would not like that.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. So I'd say that's my weirdest hotel experience.
I stayed at the Breakers in Florida for a work conference.
Okay.
And in the bathroom mirror, there was this weird black spot.
What?
Yeah.
For what?
I didn't know, but I pushed one of the buttons and a TV came on inside the mirror.
What?
Do you watch TV while you're in the
while you're
bathroom?
shaving? Well, yeah.
Fucking
that was pretty
America,
cool.
man. I don't know. I can't go 5 minutes without being entertained. I can't fucking shower and shave without a TV. No.
When I'm in the shower, I'll put my phone on so I have something to listen to.
Okay, I think that's okay. Yeah, I think that's okay. But installing a TV in your fucking mirror?
No.
I did work as a security guard at a hotel in Lawrence.
Okay.
Doing the overnight. I did find an awful lot of blood in one of the stairwells one day. Yeah. Ended up having to call the police. The police came. I never found out what happened, but
What?
yes.
We know what happened.
Well, somebody got hurt.
Damn. Unrelated to hotel rooms right now. A bunch of people that I work with are listening to our podcast. The number one thing I hear back is all the time, they're just like, oh, I can totally tell that your cousin Chris is from Boston. He's got that thick Boston accent. And I'm like, that's kind of funny. And they're like, why? I'm like, because he's not from Boston.
You're not from Boston.
Yeah. I was just like, but yeah, I guess I can see he kind of has the accent,
He
right?
does have it.
Yeah, you do have it. The funniest part is Kathy is closer from Boston than Chris is, but she has no accent. So it's super funny how it happens. But
Interesting.
yeah. All right, Chris, we've derailed you from hotel rooms.
So I'll make the jump. The Mount Washington Hotel has 269 guest rooms. The hotel boasts luxurious dining halls, conference rooms, an 18-hole golf course, an indoor swimming pool. However, it pales in comparison to the decadence and grandeur it possessed when it was first opened. Its builder, Joseph Stickney, a native of Concord, New Hampshire, had made his fortunes in his 20s as a coal broker. In 1881, Stickney purchased the Mount Pleasant Hotel. He eventually demolished the Mount Pleasant Hotel and began work on his new project, the Mount Washington Hotel. He had envisioned a luxury getaway for people looking to escape the city, and man, he was right on. Stickney brought in 250 Italian contractors.
This is why you wanted the story, Chris, huh?
He brought them in for the artistic granite and stucco masonry work and details. Construction started in the year 1900, and the hotel opened July 28th, 1902. At its completion, the hotel boasted over 2,000 doors, 12,000 windows, and over 11 miles of plumbing. The placement and design of the hotel takes advantage of the views of Mount Washington, the tallest, most imposing mountain in all of New England. All in, it was about $1.7 million to build.
That's it?
Any guess what that would be in today's money?
I'm going to say 4.9.
12.
$47.5 million.
Damn.
So no expense spared, right?
We're bad at math, too.
Yeah.
Very good.
No expensive
Not
inflation.
even close.
Yeah.
So they brought in a very special electrician by the name of Thomas Edison to turn on the lights at the hotel's grand opening.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting
Well-known.
name, well known.
Mm-hmm.
During the opening ceremony, Stickney, the proud owner, told the audience, "Look at me, gentlemen, for I am the poor fool who built all of this." Within a year, he was dead from a heart attack.
Oh, damn.
at age 64.
Damn.
His 25-year-old wife, Carolyn,
That's how he had a heart attack.
Some things don't change, huh?
He got that money.
Yeah.
So in the early days of the hotel, with cholera and yellow fever outbreaks in the cities, it was not uncommon for the ultra-wealthy from New York, Pennsylvania, Boston, Washington, D.C. to put their wives and kids up in the hotel for the entire summer. Think clean air, clean water, less crowded. Disease did not spread as quickly. Guests back then enjoyed horseback riding, hiking, golfing. There was a balcony dedicated to painting. Mostly they painted landscapes of the Mount Washington. They had 3 meals a day at the restaurant. They usually changed their clothes 4 times a day. So this was a very upscale, wealthy, ultra-exclusive resort.
Damn, where's our family money? That's what I want to know, man. Like I got to play in my backyard with sticks.
Yeah.
So the guest list included several U.S. presidents, John D. Rockefeller, Thomas Edison, Winston Churchill, as well as many other famous names I didn't recognize, but I'm sure are very important.
Movers and shakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The solitude of the rugged White Mountains made it difficult to travel to. Therefore, it made it more exclusive. And this brought in many of the wealthy and famous guests.
I hate that life's like that. It's just like,
Yeah.
we don't want those normies getting here.
Yeah. These are the people that built America.
Yeah.
The resort fell on hard times in the 1920s for several reasons. First, prohibition. The outlaw of alcohol sales took its toll on resorts and hotels and the service industry as a whole.
Could you imagine this podcast without alcohol?
It would not be good.
Yeah, we would fall on hard times too. I totally get it.
So secondly, in the 20s, the U.S. adopted an income tax. That left some guests with less disposable income, limiting vacations. Also in the late 20s, we experienced the Great Depression, which wiped out a lot of wealth for a lot of investors and businessmen in the U.S., further cutting into reservations. But mostly the hotel fell out of favor with the ultra-rich, and this will piss you off, because of Henry Ford's mission to put a car in everyone's driveway. With more people driving and the improvement of the U.S. highway system, this made the scenic White Mountains more accessible to the masses, meaning the ultra-rich were much less interested when it became less exclusive.
What the fuck? They're like, yo, Sean's gonna be there. We can't go hang out. Like, fuck you, rich people.
It's too common.
You guys know when
This is not
common people start to hang out,
Ew,
it's
peasants?
less
That's
interesting.
peasants, those lower class
It's
people.
so gross over in the White Mountains.
Did you see what they were wearing?
So with all the experience and wisdom of 25 years, Caroline took over running the resort. She added a sunroom and more guest rooms and a chapel that year.
That didn't bring anyone in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's a smart business move.
That's where I want when I want fun.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
God.
More
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
tell me what I'm doing is a sin.
She must have been incredibly resilient because her bereavement was miraculously brief. A year after her husband died, she remarried a French prince, becoming Princess Caroline.
Ooh.
She
you
knows how to
fancy.
do it.
Yeah, she got fancy. So not letting her title go to her head, she led a simple life. Traveling from France to New Hampshire yearly to summer at her hotel resort, she would take her personal bed and furniture from France with her back and forth and set it up in her private suite in room 314 at the Mount Washington Hotel for the summer.
I don't ever want to hear crap about how I pack to go on vacation ever again.
She brings all her furniture. I'm not sleeping on somebody else's bed. I'm bringing my bed with me from France.
So modest.
She had a private dining room exclusively for her and special guests, as well as a dining table in her suite. Staff would set both tables with the decadence a princess deserved, just in case she decided to dine in at the last minute. She also did not like the aesthetics of cars, so instead she had a horse-drawn carriage transfer guests from the lower parking lot to the hotel entrance and then back, so no one had to hear or see cars.
Bougie as fuck. But have you ever been in a horse-drawn carriage, either of you?
Nope.
Yes.
I have, and it is fancy as fuck.
Yeah, I can
You
ima-
feel like, yes, horse, that way. Like, finally, I'm telling someone what to do.
It was said that she would sit on her balcony, and when she saw a female guest that was dressed better than her, she would go and change immediately into something more eloquent. So clearly a very down-to-earth, grounded human here, right?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
very
clearly.
humble. Very humble.
But even with these odd, eccentric behaviors and expensive tastes, she was reportedly loved by her staff. In turn, and maybe adding to the financial troubles of the hotel, she was very generous with her staff's pay and often gave bonuses when she saw good service. She was said to be walking the grounds of the hotel one day when she came across a chauffeur sleeping in his car. She immediately brought in carpenters to turn the old stables into proper lodging for the drivers as they waited for guests to need transportation. So in a really, really out-of-touch way, sounds like a really good
Yeah.
person.
Just got one over. Yeah, that is so sweet.
I kind of feel like you presented her as this like very snotty, like self-absorbed
I think there's some
woman.
of that too.
But well, Yeah, but I think, hey, you can like nice things and still be kind.
If somebody's dressed better than me, I gotta go change.
I mean, I would.
All right.
But also think if you're rich, you get to be like, look what I did for you. The charity for those car drivers.
I guess.
I'm always helping common people, yes.
Oh, those people below me, I can just spoil with money.
I mean, if it wasn't for me, he'd be sleeping in his car.
But real talk, spoil me with money, please.
Yes, please. I mean, can I get a princess to spoil me? I mean, I'll take it.
So Princess Caroline, after her second husband died, she was said to never leave the grounds of the hotel again. She lived there year-round and was reportedly never seen leaving the property. In 1936, in room 314, Caroline passed away, leaving the hotel to her nephew. Her nephew, who was also clearly very good with money, had to close the hotel down in 1944 due to being seriously in debt. Reduced guests and increased costs. He couldn't pay the bills, so he put the Mount Washington up for sale. With no money coming in and property taxes continuing, desperate to get out from underneath the debt, he then sold it to a Boston-based investment firm for $450,000. It's a little more than 1/4 of the original cost to build it.
Yeah, not good. Not good return.
That was a big loss.
So this investment firm might have had some backroom deals because the closed and abandoned hotel then hosted the first International Monetary Fund meeting. The hotel was picked for this prestigious meeting due to being surrounded by wilderness and easy to defend and secure for its important guests. So the 44 powerful delegates from the major countries around the world, as well as hundreds of staffers, attended this meeting for 6 weeks at the hotel. At these meetings, they created the first World Bank, and they set the U.S. dollar as the standard world currency, changing the balance of fiscal power in the world to this day. So the international monetary collaboration also dumped $300,000 into updating and renovating the hotel to get up to standards that the delegates would accept. With the updates and notoriety of the meeting creating free advertising, the hotel was opened back up to taking guests again and remains open till this day.
Okay.
So some pretty important stuff happened in this hotel. So staff reported to the papers of these meetings. The delegates from the 44 different countries were thrilled with the fact that Coca-Cola was available in the dining hall.
Is that
back? Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, is that back when they were making Coca-Cola with cocaine?
Oh, yeah, that was definitely cocaine.
Then I understand why they were all excited.
Yeah, I can imagine, though, it's like someone like Kathy walks in like, all I've got here is my Captain Morgan's. I just need some, there's Coke in the dining room.
So you got to remember, Coca-Cola was not an international product at the time and uniquely American, and most foreigners had never tried it, so it was kind of a luxury.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
They also reported they loved the Chinese delegates the most because the only cash they had on hand were rolls of quarters. So apparently 25 cents was a very good tip for meal service at the time.
Why did they only have rolls of quarters?
Because that's the only cash that they took from the bank when they moved over.
At the same time, though, I wish a quarter went that far today.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Like, come on.
Here's a tip of 25 cents, my good man.
Could you imagine, like, if you left a tip of 25 cents? Oh, my God.
I was at a hotel a couple weeks ago, and we checked in our bags before we went out into, like, the city to go do a couple things. So we got back, and we already checked out of our rooms, just had to pick up our bags. And the guy I'm with is like, yo, you're gonna tip the guy, right? And I was just like, I pulled out, I had a $20 bill on my phone. I was like, $20? So I had 10 feet to get my bag.
Okay.
There you go. I was like, man, I'm getting ripped off here.
So at the conclusion of this meeting, 14 delegates from the major world powers sat in Caroline's private dining hall to sign the agreement that changed the way the world values and trades currency to this day. So this hotel was the backdrop for a very important historical event, and this gave the hotel new life. So back to 1936, after Princess Caroline passed away, rumors of her spirit roaming the halls started almost immediately. Over the years, staff and guests have seen a woman in a Victorian ball gown wandering the halls. The scent of French floral perfume often fills the air. One of the more recent guests reported, I was walking down the third floor hallway one morning. It was a warm day and we were going hiking, so I was wearing shorts and a tank top. I walked past a lady in the hall who was dressed in a ball gown. She seemed to be looking at my outfit in disgust.
This checks
It was
out.
her.
Yeah.
So I looked down and avoided eye contact
I love that.
as I walked by. A second later, it dawned on me how strange her outfit was. I turned back to make sure I saw what I thought I saw, and she was gone. So yeah, this is clearly Princess Caroline.
Oh,
Yes.
no doubt. And it makes sense too, right? Lost a couple husbands. Clearly, this is an important place.
Yeah.
Died there. A lot of emotional energy. Kind of checks out.
Yep.
You're wearing shorts and hiking boots in my hotel? Of
Look
course
here,
you'd be disgusted,
bitch.
right?
We wear gowns.
Loser. And her bed is here.
Yes.
I mean, she died in her bed, so.
Do you
That's
think
true.
it's her bed still in room 314 today?
I hope not.
Ooh.
I hope not.
Oh.
Is it?
Room 314, now named the Princess Caroline Suite, still dons her original hand-carved oak bed from France.
Oh, shit.
Dude, I'm a psychic. I'm a fucking psychic.
That was literally the next line I wrote.
I'm a fucking psychic.
So staying in this room, guests have reported flickering lights for decades. Electricians have come in and out numerous times, but none seem to fix the problem, leading some to believe the problem isn't paranormal and not electrical.
Ooh, creepy.
What is that? Why do ghosts flicker lights? Like, I've heard that. Are they trying to grab energy from the electricity? Is that the theory?
I think that's what it is. I think it's like them taking the electricity from it to power themselves to be able to do things or make themselves seen.
I
Okay.
still feel like you have to ask why. I'm trying to put myself in my most vulnerable state that I've ever been in mentally inside of my life. And I'm like, do you just want to be seen by someone? Is that what it is? Is it like a huge charge of emotions? And you're just like, I want someone to recognize me and to see that I am here. Maybe that's why you're flickering lights. I don't know.
If I'm a princess, I kind of like attention, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
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 Even if I'm not a princess, I like
Yeah.
attention. So.
So in room 314, guests also report sudden changes or drops in temperature, seemingly at random in the room despite the windows being closed. Paranormal researchers believe the spirits are detectable because there's a cold spot in the room in their presence. So when you feel a cold spot, it's because you are standing in the presence of the spirit of Princess Caroline, which is just freaky as fuck, right?
Yeah.
You guys have all walked through a room and felt like a cold spot or a cold breeze, and
Yeah.
to think that that might be somebody from the afterlife is
Which,
really
again-
awesome and terrifying.
And again, it's kind of like they just want to be seen or
Mhm.
felt or heard. So they're sapping the heat to create
Yeah.
this cold spot. Like,
I don't know, yeah.
it's wild.
Well, I think
So-
this one's intelligent
Yeah.
haunting based on some of the other reports that I've got.
Okay.
We'll have to put on an episode sometime and like talk about the back and forth of like, do we think ghosts are intelligent beings or like an imprint of energy on time that's replaying? I think we could have a really cool
Yeah.
convo on that
I
sometime.
think so too.
Yeah, I think that it's probably more about things that have already happened that are just echoing through time.
Replaying.
Right, yeah.
Well, then there's the other theory, but it's parallel universes that we're seeing glimpses into. So other timelines that are happening at the same time as our world is
Yeah.
going.
You're seeing like
Crossing
a
over.
slice of time where
Yeah.
you're seeing into some other world. That's
Yeah.
it's a cool theory.
Yeah. To them, they could have glimpses into our world where they could see us sitting here or walk through this room and it just happens to coincide with us sitting here and our energies are so high that it becomes a cold spot.
Well, taking it back to Mount Washington, right? Like when they thought they saw the princess, the girl in the hiker gear, and the look of disgust, that tells me that like that is not an imprint. Assuming this
Yeah.
is real,
Yeah.
that is
Yes.
not an imprint.
Yes.
That is an
An
intelligent,
intelligent being that's
Or, like you said, a slice in time,
Mm-hmm.
looking back in a different past. Like, imagine the princess is replaying her time and she's seeing the hiker as a ghost.
Yeah, she's in
And
the
like-
1920s, and this hiker looks completely out of place for her.
Yeah.
She would be confused by that, right?
Freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guests in room 314 have also reported leaving an item in the room to find it moved to a different place or even hidden from sight while they were out, resulting in some irate calls to guest services. While fielding complaints with dignity and respect, hotel staff believe this is not an intrusive or a mischievous housekeeper, but rather the spirit of Princess Caroline moving these objects. Again, right, what do you say if you get that call?
Yeah. Hey, I can't find my phone. Do you know if anyone's turned anything in the lost and found? Oh, that's a ghost.
Yeah.
Imagine
the
hearing
princess.
that. Like,
But I also
what?
think too, though, I think they're like, you're going to the Mount Washington Hotel and you're in room
You're going for a
314.
purpose.
You know what room you're going to.
Yeah. that's-
Yeah, actually,
So-
that room is known as a paranormal hotspot, and it'll book out before the other rooms for
Yeah.
people looking to have an experience. So while in room 314, some report feeling a gentle touch while lying on the bed or seeing a shadowy figure at the foot of the bed late at night as they fall asleep. One guest reported, I was lying in bed reading, then I clearly heard the water for the bathtub start to run. Startled by somebody in my bathroom running the water, she jumped and ran into the bathroom to catch the intruder. No one was there, and the water was not running. Almost like an echo from a different time in the hotel's history, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
I would want a new room after that.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll be like sleeping in my bed upstairs and like I'll have my head down and I could swear I hear footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'll take my head up off the pillow and I won't hear anything at all. And like I don't know if it's my head, if it's like the echo of my heating system or what it is, but like noises that freak me the fuck out. Like
Sometimes I come into your house late at night and just walk around. It's not weird.
You leave your door open 24/7, John.
Yeah.
Just walk in.
Sometimes coming through the window.
Oh.
One housekeeper entered room 314 to clean it was startled by a woman dressed in all white hours after checkout, still in the room, sitting on the bed. She quickly apologized to the woman. The woman did not acknowledge her. Instead, slowly faded away and eventually disappeared. She reports she has not gone into that room alone since then, getting another staff member to help her check the room before she's willing to be left alone in it to clean it.
First off, speaks to her fear. Second off, a smart person.
Yeah, no, I would do the same thing. I wouldn't
Yeah.
even be in a hotel, let alone
I'm thinking the
going
same
back in
thing.
that room.
I want to go there. I know we've talked about going there and trying to book this room, but to know that you're in a place that is supposedly haunted and then like you're there and alone at night,
Yeah.
creepy.
So room 314, to what Kathy was saying, is often requested by people looking for the experience of the paranormal and often be booked out months in advance. However, room 314 is just the tip of the iceberg of the paranormal reports in this historic hotel. During Prohibition in the 1920s, when the sale of alcohol was illegal in the United States, the hotel, as did many other establishments, kept their alcohol sales secret. A room in the basement was turned into a bar, walled off, and a secret door added. This was so guests who were in the know could get a cocktail when staying at the hotel without the authorities catching wind of the illegal activity. These were commonly called speakeasies during the Prohibition years. Years after Prohibition was repealed, the secret bar was opened back up as a throwback experience in the 1920s in the history of the hotel. It's now called the Cave Bar due to being in the basement and not having any windows.
That sounds awesome.
That's sick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool vibe, right?
Yeah.
So staff working the Cave Bar late at night after closing have reported hearing disembodied voices, seeing shadows they cannot explain, and one report of watching a drinking glass taken from the bar, floating across the room and getting placed on a table on the opposite end of the room, almost like somebody was carrying it, but no one was there.
That is the kind of fucking evidence I need to see.
That's the evidence.
That's
like,
what
okay, this
I'm
is real.
literally sitting here thinking that. Like, that is the shit that I want to see. Like,
Exactly.
that is, I want that kind of experience to really just prove to me, like, this is real.
They also report hearing loud crashes coming from the Cave Bar. When they go in to investigate the noise, no one's in there, and they can't seem to find the cause of the crash. Almost like it was coming from nowhere, or maybe from a different time in the history of the hotel.
I love a good ghost story.
The original ballroom is another hotspot for paranormal activity. The original ballroom, with its stage and Italian chandelier, has been converted into a conference room. It still holds the grandeur and mystique of times past when gentlemen in top hats and women in the latest European fashions danced the night away to a proper orchestra. Staff to this day report hearing old-timey music coming from the ballroom, even when it's empty and the lights are out. The paranormal TV show Ghost Hunters did an episode investigating the Mount Washington Hotel. When investigating the ballroom, they reported they hear faint, distant music in the otherwise empty room. They also recorded random changes in temperature and electromagnetic readings as they walked around. If these temperature and magnetic changes were in fact spirits, it was almost like people were dancing in the ballroom all around them as they walked through, but they couldn't see anybody.
I love that.
That's kind of freaky, right?
I love it.
I don't know. If you're going to replay anything in your life, might as well be like a happy moment dancing with your loved one. Like, well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just picture this grand ballroom in the 1920s and people are dancing all around you, but they're unaware that it's not the 1920s and it's now a conference room and being investigated by ghost hunters.
That's so weird when you put it like that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. They're like, oh, I hit a cold spot. And it's just fucking Jason.
It's a human.
Yeah. It's Grant.
Yeah.
So interestingly, in the original part of the hotel, each flight of stairs to the second floor has a different number of steps.
Really?
Yes, this unusual design was intentional and meant to confuse ghosts.
Wait, really?
Really?
Yes, the varying staircases follow an old Italian superstition meant to confuse and ward off spirits, almost foretelling of the paranormal activity to come.
So, Chris, as an Italian, how do you feel about this? Do you you advocate for different number of steps? Like,
I'm just thinking those are some pretty clever architects, right? Because I built stairs. It's not easy. So there are also many secret passageways and hidden doors and rooms in the original part of the hotel. Now, while these were said to allow staff to work work undetected by the guests. This with the rumors of hauntings to the really spooky vibe already in this hotel.
I love everything about this.
So yeah, it's kind of freaky.
I feel like if we ever go to Mount Washington, I'm going to be like, Kathy, run up those stairs. I'm going to run up these ones and count. They are different.
Oh, you think we're going to count it right on the first try?
You're giving a lot of credit there. So this is just a quick peek into the storied history of this high-end luxury resort with its decadence and romance of times come and gone. Millionaires, the power elite, and a princess roamed the halls of the Mount Washington Hotel one day. With all of this opulence and privilege, you can see why some souls might have checked in, but never really checked out.
I like it.
You are great with enders. Like
Yeah.
your ending lines are so solid.
Yeah, it's so
They're
good.
so good.
It's so good.
That was a good story too. That was a good story.
Yeah, but I think we need a good ghost story.
Yeah. We've been overdue for one for a little bit. That's great, dude. That's great. I can't wait to go. This is in New Hampshire, y'all. This is like literally like an hour and a half away from us right now.
I looked into it.
Yeah?
Rooms are like $600 to $800 a night.
Yeah.
A little bit pricey.
Gang, sponsor this.
GoFundMe.
And it's not even like you can pick like an off season because it's always a fucking season up there.
Yeah.
That's like anytime you go
summer,
up
winter.
there, it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah,
So.
it's a fucking vibe too, because it's like in this beautiful open field.
Mhm.
You have this beautiful like white and like red.
And like the mountain view that's like surrounds it. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Well, Chris, thanks so much for sharing the story of the Mount Washington Hotel. The glitz and the glam were off the charts. we appreciate that. I was like princess. That was the first thing that came out. Yeah. I mean, gang, we hope that you loved it as well. And if you did, make sure you check out our Instagram. That is at Weirder After Dark, where we'll go ahead and we'll post some images and some references here that will support Chris's story here today. And don't forget, it's not just the Instagram where you can find us. We are building communities over on Facebook and on Reddit, where you can communicate not just with us, but other listeners just like yourself who are absolutely loving this shit. And if you are loving this shit, I just want to let you know that the best thing that you can do to help support us is to leave a 5-star review, drop a little line about something that you find unique and fun about this podcast. And don't forget, we are looking for your stories. So have you been to the Mount Washington Hotel? Have you been haunted by a princess? Has someone randomly looked at you and been like, ew, girl, you gotta wear something better? Because if you have, we want to hear those stories, and you can send them to us at thegang@weirderafterdark.com. And don't forget, it always gets a little weirder after dark.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.